No, it's fine. I'm a little short, I know.
Yeah, you're a little short. Hey guys.
Hi.
Dr. Ken and Neisha here. If you're watching this on the replay, please go ahead and leave your question. Even if it's been a few days since we posted this video, we'll still answer your question, okay? We're going to talk about high blood pressure today and several other things, and we're going to answer as many of you guys' questions as we can. So let's get started. We've been out of pocket for a while. We went to London, took a week off. We did a little work, but not much. We kind of took it easy. And so now we're back and we're ready to get busy and we're ready to help you guys optimize your health even more. Hey Janice, hey Amanda. So today we're going to talk about, for a few minutes, high blood pressure and why it's a big deal, and why the ketogenic diet is or is not the right choice for that. And we're going to make a couple of announcements that you guys might be excited to know about, or might not. I don't know. You think they'll care? I don't know. We'll see. But you guys, if this is your first time to watch one of our lives, please tell us where you're from, because we love seeing where everybody's from. And you can tell us where you're from anyway. We just love seeing that because it's really cool.
If you're new, tell us if you're new.
Yeah, and if you're new, type new in the comments so that we'll know you're new and we can welcome you to our growing community.
And if you share this video, make sure you put in the comments that you have shared so we can say gracias.
Yes, or thank you, depending, whether it's Spanish or Southern, whichever you prefer. Northern California. Hey, Wendy, how's it going? So, high blood pressure. It's a big deal.
Yep.
Did you know?
I need to tag Chrissy. She's been asking for this.
Oh, yeah, tag Chrissy. Did you know that 1 out of every 3 adults, Americans, has high blood pressure?
No.
33%. Isn't that crazy? That's ridiculous. So, there's almost an epidemic of hypertension or high blood pressure in America, and actually also in Canada, Australia, the UK, other places as well. But I know the numbers for America, so we're going to talk about that today for the U.S. Oh, Deborah's reading a book right now. Thanks, Deborah. Juanita's from Arizona. Hey, Juanita. So the reason we care about high blood pressure, if it didn't do anything bad to you, we wouldn't care about it, right? But it increases your risk of heart attack, stroke, kidney failure, blindness, all kinds of different things. Your risk factors go through the roof if you have high blood pressure. And so that's why we care, because what we're trying to do ultimately is keep you from having a heart attack or a stroke or blindness, kidney failure, or impotence. All these bad things come from having high blood pressure, right? And so that's the whole point, is we got to get the blood pressure down. And in the past, a doctor's only weapon to fight your blood pressure was, oh, here's a handful of pills. Right? And the pills do lower your blood pressure, and that does lower your risk somewhat, but it does not reduce your risk back down to zero, to baseline. Only way you can do that is to fix the underlying problems. Okay? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. What else are we going to talk about?
You got an announcement.
Yeah, you think we should tell them now or wait?
I don't know. Maybe wait.
Wait a minute?
Maybe
okay.
Wait.
Thank you, Katrina, for sharing. Thank you very much. Hey, Kara.
Why did you turn that over? Now I don't know where my... Oh.
Yeah, it's right there. I put it there for you. I'm good, right? It's good. Yeah.
I don't like it.
No, you like that.
No.
Okay, so we talked to the new people. You guys, if you're new, leave us a comment. Say new so we can welcome you. What else is going on?
He just did a YouTube video about the blood pressure medicine, or blood pressure and keto. What's it called? What is the name of the video?
The name of the video exactly is... let's just make this as difficult as possible.
Yes.
I already forgot. My ADD kicked in.
His ADD has been so bad since we were in London and he ate crap.
Yeah, I think that
he is like a toddler.
I really am.
Like, I will talk to him about something, and I'm not kidding you, 60 seconds later he'll be like, what?
Huh? What?
No, you didn't say that. And I'm like, I said that literally 1 minute ago. 1 minute ago.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
Our first 2 or 3 days in London, we ate off plan, and I swear, my ADD, I don't think it's ever been this bad.
No, I've never, it's a problem.
Yeah, it's really, really bad.
I think if it had been this bad when I first met him, I would have been like, this is not going to work. Are you kidding me?
I'll fix that. Hang on.
We got to plug in the phone because somebody's phone is going to die.
Run, get the other. Yeah, I know, right? We're so prepared for this. So Sweet Neisha's going to run, get the charger so the phone doesn't die, and then we'll continue.
We don't have
No, it's in there. It's in my, yeah. Okay, so yeah. So I thought it'd be a great idea. We're going to London, right? So I'm going to have some fish and chips. I'm going to have a pie. I'm going to have more fish and chips. And I thought, yeah, that's what I should do. And so I did that. Immediately started having nausea, bloating. And I, at first, didn't really notice my mental symptoms. But I noticed that Neisha kept getting kind of flustered with me. And I was like, what? She must be in a bad mood or something. I don't know what's wrong with her, right? But
It's always my fault.
Yeah, right. I thought it's got to be her fault, right? But then I started noticing, man, I can't remember crap. I can't remember anything. And so then it occurred to me, yeah, this eating off plan for 2 or 3 days has made my ADD much worse. My memory was worse. I couldn't remember.
Hi, Carl.
Hey, Carl, how's it going, brother? I couldn't remember anything. And so we've been back on plan for a few days now, and I feel like it's getting better. Do you think it's getting better?
It's better, but it's still pretty bad.
I'm sorry, God. Yeah, and so if you guys are going on vacation or you're going to, doing whatever, really think about before you go off plan, because I tell you, we haven't done it in a while, and it wasn't worth it. If I could go back and change it, I would. I would not eat off plan at all.
We won't be cheating on our next adventure, which is going to be the low-carb cruise.
Oh, yeah.
In May, last week of May. We're going to Mexico and Honduras, and
yep, it's
he's going to be speaking on it.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. The low-carb cruise with Jimmy Moore.
Because ADD.
I think Dave Feldman's going to be there. I think Maria Emmerich. Yeah, I can't wait to meet those guys. These dogs.
We've got 4 dogs at our house right now, too. So if you hear all that noise, that's 4 dogs. We have a German Shepherd, a Bichon Frise, and then our 2 Yorkie Poos. Yeah. And they're like nuts.
They want to play fight constantly.
Yeah.
And then maybe real fight every now and then, but then back to play fighting again. Yeah, it's really annoying. But hey, that's what you do when you have a family and a life. So, high blood pressure. What's the deal with that? So you guys may have heard of metabolic syndrome before. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
It's the combination of high blood pressure, high triglycerides, belly fat, high blood sugar, and then low HDL. And I found it funny when I was doing research for this video that none of the big regulatory bodies like the World Health Organization or the American Heart Association or any of a number of other ones who define what a metabolic syndrome is or syndrome X, not a single one of them mentioned total cholesterol or LDL. Don't you find that telling?
It's very telling.
It's very telling, right? Like even the American Heart Association, who they want everybody on a statin, when they define metabolic syndrome, they don't mention total cholesterol or LDL. They talk about HDL, which I think is a thing. They talk about triglycerides. They talk about the belly fat and the blood pressure. All those are definitely risk factors for chronic disease, heart attack, stroke, and early death. All things that we want to avoid. Mm-hmm. And so when you think about high blood pressure or hypertension in the context of metabolic syndrome, then you're left with looking at basically 3 things. You're looking at your weight, you're looking at insulin levels, and you're looking at inflammation. Those are the things that you're looking at, okay? And so if your insulin level is chronically high, your risk of having high blood pressure and metabolic syndrome are elevated, right?
Thank you.
What did Carl say?
A few people said that my hair looks awesome.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, but what?
Thanks.
Yeah, her hair is rocking, and look at this
It's
makeup,
like
and look at this.
ridiculous today. It's super crazy.
Yeah.
I just when your hair is curly or kinky, you girls that have that, you just go with it. You don't fight it. You just go with it.
Just go with it. Yeah. So you're rocking the '80s hair. It's okay. She's like, I'll just bring it back. It's fine. Whatever. I'm like, okay.
I was like, who says that '80s hair isn't cute anymore? I'm gonna maybe tease my bangs later. I don't know.
So Carl asked about high triglycerides, which are part of metabolic syndrome. High triglycerides have been shown to be an independent risk factor for heart attack, stroke, metabolic syndrome, all of this stuff. And so you've got to get your triglycerides down. That's to reduce your risk. You have to do that. Okay. Amanda said crimp it. Yeah, I can totally see you rocking some crimp.
Crimp it. It's basically crimped on its own.
So how are you going to lower your insulin levels? How are you going to lower your belly fat? How are you going to lower your blood sugar levels, right? How are you going to ultimately lower your blood pressure and get it back down to a normal level? Well, you're going to do it not with a handful of pills, because they do lower your blood pressure, but they don't reduce your risk back to baseline. Only removing your risk factors can you reduce your risk back down to baseline, okay? And the way you do that is by eating an uninflammatory, low insulinogenic diet. Do you know a diet?
Low insulinogenic diet.
Yeah,
Is that like keto?
That's right. Yeah, the ketogenic way of eating, or the ketogenic diet. And that's how you do that, okay? So by eating a ketogenic diet, you're going to lower your insulin level, keep it lower. That's going to get rid of the belly fat. That's going to lower the blood pressure. That's going to lower the blood sugar, right? And that's going to reduce your risk of heart attack, stroke, kidney failure, blindness back down to baseline.
Sounds like a win to me.
It sounds like a win to me.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah. And so the reason I made the video on the YouTube channel, it's called Can I Eat Keto If I Have High Blood Pressure? Is because I have heard that question hundreds of times on lives like this that we've done in the past. And the answer is, not only can you, yes you can, should you, you absolutely should. There's really no other diet. You know, the American Heart Association tried for years to push the DASH diet. It's a super low salt diet that's supposed to lower your blood pressure and lower your risk. And all the research has just shown that it has dismal results. It maybe reduces your blood pressure by 0.5 points, which is irrelevant. That's background noise. It doesn't help a bit. Yeah, Kathy, a high CRP is a sign that there's inflammation in your body somewhere. Now, let me tell you, a CRP is very non-predictive of what the inflammation is. You can have an infected toenail.
Yeah, it
and
could
your CRP
be
will be
due to anything.
Right. Okay, or it could be.
Just says there is inflammation, but it doesn't tell you why
Exactly
you
right.
have inflammation.
That's right. And so really, the American Heart Association came out with new guidelines for blood pressure, which I think are kind of a little bit unnecessary. Most people, if they'll keep their blood pressure under 145 on the top number and 85 on the bottom number, that's going to reduce your risk of heart attack and stroke back down to baseline. Okay, they've done studies where they tried to use medication to keep your blood pressure really, really low. Guess what? You actually increase your risk of other bad things happening if you do that. Just like the studies where they tried to really control your blood sugar very tightly with lots of insulin or insulinogenic pills, and it wound up that those people did worse than the people who were not taking insulin or insulinogenic, and that means that it increases your insulin in your body, right, or causes you to make more insulin. But you can't do it. You can't do this with pills. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work nearly as well. Good question, Johnny. So sodium, everybody worries about sodium in their blood pressure. When you start eating the ketogenic diet, it's so uninflammatory and it lowers your insulin so much, you can stop worrying about salt, Johnny. You can salt everything,
I was
okay?
going to say somebody asked if you should keep your salt under so much.
No, once you're eating keto or
Good
keto-ish, you can use an unprocessed sea salt to your heart's content. It will not affect your blood pressure, but more importantly, it won't raise your risk of a heart attack or a stroke. Hey, Bryce, how's it going, brother? Does that make sense? Yeah. And so we've said this before, but I don't really care what your blood pressure number is, except that it increases your risk of heart attack and stroke. So ultimately, we're trying to get you to not have that terrible event that's either going to change your life or end your life. That's why we care about all these numbers. And so if you're eating the standard American diet, then you may very well need to watch your salt intake, because you're so inflamed and your insulin level is so high that salt may increase your blood pressure to the point where it's a problem. But if you're eating ketogenic after you've been eating keto for a few weeks, you can salt everything with a good unprocessed sea salt, or you can use new salt so you get extra potassium.
What's the salt that you said comes from the States?
Redmond's Real Salt. Redmond's Real Salt. It comes from Utah. It's a dead and buried sea that used to be in Utah that's under 30 feet of clay, right? And so I love Redmond's Real Salt because this sea, it was just discovered. They were probably mining for gold or something, and they found salt. And they're like, what the hell, this salt? I don't want this. But then later they're like, wait, that's good salt. And so Redmond's Real Salt is made in the U.S., It was made in the U.S. millions and millions of years ago, but it's
made probably way before the U.S.
It's harvested in the U.S., but it is a very, very clean, pristine ocean because it was back, millions of years ago before there was pollution, before there was, Japanese nuclear plants exploding and China dumping who knows what in the ocean. Before all that crap, seas were pristine and clean, right? But don't use a sea salt that comes from an existing ocean because they're kind of getting a little polluted.
A little.
Yeah, a little bit or a lot of bit. Yeah.
Not just China; it's everyone dumping in the ocean.
So if you guys have a chance, you can go over and you can check out the new YouTube video about hypertension. I go into a little bit more detail there.
Somebody asked about visceral fat a few times.
Okay, visceral fat.
Yeah.
So visceral fat, belly fat, is a part of metabolic syndrome or syndrome X. And visceral fat, fat among your organs, or worse yet, in your organs, in your liver, in your pancreas. Now we're going to have a dog wrestling match here. Those are the most dangerous fats of all. Now, if you've just got fat on your booty or fat on your thighs, you may not like that and you may want to get rid of that, but that hasn't really been shown to be an independent risk factor for heart attack and stroke and for heart failure and all kinds of terrible things. But the fat inside your belly, inside your liver and pancreas, those are the fats you got to get rid of. And the way to get rid of them as quickly and naturally as possible is eating a ketogenic diet.
And fasting. We won't take it in.
Intermittent fasting, that's right.
Like
and
fasting
exactly right. And
done.
so when you give your body opportunity to burn fat, the first fat it's going to burn, guess what? Your body's so smart. Which fat's it going to burn first?
The body on your liver and kidney?
Yeah, the fat in your liver and
where
kidneys.
It doesn't belong?
That's right, because that's the most dangerous fat of all. And so it literally like a gram of fat in your pancreas will make you insulin resistant and type 2 diabetic. And just several little grams in your liver make you insulin resistant and increase your risk of type 2 diabetes. Yeah, we're wrestling with the German Shepherd. Yeah.
She's huge. She's still a puppy, but that's why she's crazy, because she's still a puppy, but she doesn't look like a puppy because she's massive. But yeah, she's
ridiculous.
Crazy.
But it's fun though.
Yeah.
You know, it would be boring otherwise. So what's some more good questions we've gotten so far? So visceral fat, if you guys have visceral fat, if you've had an ultrasound or a CAT scan that shows fatty liver, fatty pancreas, or fat in your internal organs, you got to fix that, okay? You got to get rid of that fat because that's the fat that's going to kill you.
Let's talk about your announcement. I think we've probably been on here long enough that everybody's on
all
here.
right. Okay, so we got a couple of announcements. And so we've been talking for a while about doing an audible version of Lies My Doctor Told Me. And so we finally hammered out a deal with a big-time celebrity who's going to be the voice of Lies My Doctor Told Me. It ain't going to be me. I would love to do it, but
it would never get done.
If you guys waited for my ADD brain to get that done, it would be released in like 2028 or something. So yeah, we've got a huge celebrity in the ketogenic community, and I hear rumor that he's a pretty big deal in other communities as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, and can you guys guess who's going to be the voice of the audible version of Lies My Doctor Told Me? Leave a comment down below. Who do you think it's going to be?
And if you're going to get the audible version...
Yeah, are you even interested?
Yeah, say something in the comments.
Carl wants to know.
Leave some bacon. Leave some bacon in the comments.
Leave some bacon in the comments.
If you're going to buy the audible.
Yes. You guys know there's a bacon emoji, right? I use it every day. You should use it every day. Every day.
Let's tell them what we had for breakfast this morning.
Want to talk about our breakfast?
Yeah.
Okay. So for breakfast this morning, we had skillet seared ribeye steaks.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, explain how we do our steaks.
So
That's pretty cool.
So you set your oven at the highest possible temperature. And then you let it get up to like 525 with your cast iron skillet. Now, you can't use a skillet that's got a plastic handle.
No.
It'd be bad. Or with the coating. You don't want that.
Cast iron.
Cast iron skillet.
Real good old
Thank you, Charlene.
Southern style.
Yeah, good old Southern cast iron skillet, and get it about 525. Then you put salt, pepper, a little garlic powder on your ribeyes, and you pat them down really good. And then you throw them in that skillet when it's hot. And we do 3 minutes on one side, 3 minutes on the other side.
With thick steaks.
With thick steaks.
Yeah.
And this morning we did like a minute and a half and a minute and a half because we like our steaks rare. And then we had some leftover ribs that Jared Inkster made for us. Smoked ribs.
Gosh,
Holy
they
crap.
Were so good. They didn't, okay, I don't even know what he put on them, but you didn't need sauce. Because
No.
I was like, man, kind of want barbecue sauce. And then I ate it, and then I decided that was stupid because they didn't need any sauce at all. I don't know how he used some fancy smoker or something. I don't know.
these
like
ribs. Yeah.
the
So we
best
had
ribs
ribeye,
ever.
we had ribs, we had some fried eggs, because we have a farm girl who lives nearby who brings me 2 dozen eggs from chickens who have gotten to run around in the pasture and eat bugs all day. And so these are bug-fed eggs that we had. The yolks are so orange.
Yeah, I love orange yolks.
Yeah.
And then I made last night homemade spinach dip with cream cheese and butter and bacon grease and Parmesan cheese and a whole, like, I don't even know how much spinach, like a lot. But you know how spinach, when you cook it, it's like there's nothing left. And so it had set overnight, so it was even better today. And then we just poured that over the top of everything. And it was delicious.
Yes. Oh, God. And so we dipped our steak in her spinach artichoke, creamy, cheesy, buttery dip. Oh, my
Bacon.
God.
I put probably
you put bacon grease
5 tablespoons of bacon grease in it. And it was just floating on top.
Just love her so much. She's the best.
So we're going to tell them who's reading it?
Oh, yeah. So it's not Jimmy Moore, and it's not Tom Hanks.
It's not Blake Shelton.
It's not Rob Lowe, although that's an interesting thought. And it's not James Earl Jones. No. So you guys got any other guesses?
It's a guy.
It's a male. That's right. Yeah, I know, right, Kathy? God, it was so good. I wish I had second breakfast right now.
Yeah, we broke a fast at 12.
Yeah, everybody's finding the bacon icon.
I know.
The bacon emoji.
That's
No, we
exciting.
don't raise our own beef, but we
No.
have a local farmer who will raise pigs and cows for us, grass-fed, grass-finished. And in the pigs' case, all the pigs eat are acorns, grass, and grub worms, and
We're
whatever
trying to
else.
find somebody
pigs
who
eat.
raises grass-fed beef around us to buy a cow, or maybe split a cow, maybe with my parents or somebody, but we haven't.
Pauline, and everybody else, if you'll just post on your Facebook page, hey, I'm looking for country farm-raised eggs, I
Somebody will
guarantee
find
you
you.
somebody within 1 mile has chickens in the backyard, and they'll sell you eggs for like $2
Yeah,
a dozen.
because their chicken, they just pop them out so quickly.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Not Mark
Okay.
Hyman. That's a good
Are you going to
guess.
tell them?
Yeah, okay. So, we're...
Jackie Chan.
Jackie
That would be
Chan.
horrible.
Chapter 1. Was that,
Oh, no.
that was bad?
It's bad.
Okay, sorry.
Don't do that.
Okay, so no, not Tommy Lee Jones. No.
Gosh.
Okay, so are you
Kevin
guys ready?
Bacon.
Here it comes. And I'm very honored that he agreed to do this. It's pretty cool. Carl Franklin. Carl Franklin, one keto dude from the Two Keto Dudes podcast. He's gonna be the voice of Lies My Doctor Told Me.
It's so good, too. Like, we
Yeah.
listened to the prologue the other day, and I was like, this sounds like a real book.
Yeah, it made me cry a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
He
He
made
totally
my
cried.
stuff sound so good. I can't believe
I
it.
was like, this sounds like this is legit.
Yeah, it really sounds legit. So we're so proud to announce that Carl Franklin will be the voice of Lies My Doctor Told Me. Not Mark Sisson. That's a great guess. But it should be out, I don't know, in a month or two. I don't know how long it takes after.
Soon, it's coming though. So yeah, we're
Oh
pretty
man,
excited.
those ribeyes were about an inch thick and I don't know, as big as a full ribeye. It
I
was
don't know how much they weighed. I didn't look. I
Kevin
just-
Bacon.
No,
Ha! That's good. No, not Kevin Bacon. Oh, you're 1.5. He's 1.5 of the keto dudes by volume. So yeah, he's not. That's good, Carl. I love it. Yeah, but
He is on
can you
here
guys
right
believe
now.
Carl Franklin? Have you guys ever listened to the Two Keto Dudes podcast? It's like one of the best podcasts for keto out there. I think it's the best because there's several, and
Well,
some
it's
of
good
them.
quality too.
Yeah,
Like,
his audio is
he's
primo.
Like, yeah, he's probably a little OCD when it comes to like audio.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
that's
which
his
is good,
thing.
'cause I
So
ain't.
that's why this Audible is gonna sound
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah,
So
but these two guys, one's in Connecticut, one's in Australia. They both had type 2 diabetes. They're both overweight, and they both fixed these things with the ketogenic diet. And so they said, "Hey, let's start a podcast." They did that, and so they like talk about research, but they break it down so that you can understand it
And they're
in
funny.
layman's terms. And they're funny, and they're kind of cute too. I think, don't you think? Yeah, Carl Franklin's the best, man. So if you guys haven't listened to Two Keto Dudes podcast, you need to check that out. For your drive time, you cannot use your time better than listening to Two Keto Dudes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
if you haven't heard of them, then yeah, you need to go check them out. And if you haven't heard of them and you've been doing keto for a while, I'm very surprised because they're a big deal.
Yeah, they're really excellent. I love both those guys. And we're actually, if you want to meet them in person, then if you want to meet us in person,
Yeah.
I have been asked to speak at Keto Fest this July. It's July 20th through 22nd. Is that right? And it's in Connecticut,
New London,
New
Connecticut.
London, Connecticut. I like that name. That's kind of
New
cool,
London,
isn't it?
yeah.
And when we're
It's supposed to be like a big party, basically, like a big keto
Right.
party. I don't know, Carl can probably put a link in here where you can go find Keto Fest information, so you can go, like last year apparently was cray cray. Quit fussing with your hair. I can't help it!
I love it. Hey, Carl, ketofest.com
Yeah,
if
there
you're
you go. So
interested
click that link
in
and
meeting
go check it
Carl and Richard and Neisha and Ken.
And us, and a whole bunch, just slew of people.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
go
there's
to
a
the
ton
go to
of
the website.
very
and
intelligent
several
people going to be
that are
speaking
coming.
there. They're going to be cooking. What did he say they're going to have?
Well, it's like a huge cookout, like the first day. And then
It's all keto.
party,
A keto
and,
cookout
yeah.
throwdown party. I'm sure there'll be some keto alcohol. I know there's going to be a ton of keto food. I think the whole town goes keto.
Yeah,
like
the
the restaurants and
yeah.
everything. Like you can walk in and order keto meals. It's really going to be a cool thing. You should check it out. But there's I don't know what the tickets cost, but there's like a small cost.
There's like different levels of tickets, like VIP level and like mid level, and then like the basic.
Oh, there's going to be a low carb wine testing, 8 cooking demos, keto
yeah,
pizza.
yeah.
Tell them about your keto
I
pizza
made
you
keto
made.
pizza for the first time this week. I'm still working on it. I think my keto dough was a little too almondy. I'm gonna try and use coconut flour next time. I think it'll work better. But he liked it, and then I made garlic dip to dip the pizza in, and it was really good too.
Quinoa. Somebody asked about quinoa. So quinoa is okay in strict moderation because its glycemic index is not great, but it is better than wheat, rice, or corn. So if you need some kind of side that's sort of ricey or like that, or like what's that little the little bitty tiny balls of pasta? What do you call those? Risotto. It's kind of like that, but it's got the most unique texture. I love quinoa, but if I eat too much of it, it'll stall me out. Oh, there's a bacon bar. Yeah, I forgot about the bacon bar. Yeah. Can you imagine just like
Bacon all day
unlimited
long.
bacon? All you can eat bacon.
That's a good time.
That's like a definition of heaven for some people.
I'll probably actually vlog while we're there
Yeah.
because that sounds like something that would be interesting.
I'm gonna try to go live with all the keto people and bring you guys that kind of value. Let you meet a bunch of new people, but I'd rather you just be there in person and eat some bacon.
Yeah,
with
that'd
us.
be way funner.
Yeah.
Way more fun.
Way more funner. I totally
more
agree.
funner? Yeah,
I totally
whatever.
agree. So Keto Fest in July. We're going to be on the low carb cruise in May coming up. I don't know if there's still tickets for that, but just Google low carb cruise. I think it's the #1 hit on Google when you do that. And if there's a ticket left, come and cruise with us. We're going to Mexico, Honduras, 2 or 3 places in Mexico. I don't know, but there's going to be a ton of intelligent people speaking about keto there.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time.
And Nisha and her hair will be there too. So.
Yeah. Who knows what it'll look like by then?
You
It
have
might
no
look
idea.
completely
No
different.
idea. Yeah.
Oh.
I think you should go Dory with your hair.
Yeah,
No?
I did that last summer.
Yeah, that's true. You did
Yeah,
already.
I had blue hair last summer. We went to Disney, and so I had blue hair.
Somebody
'cause I
wants
was
you
a
to
mermaid.
vlog during Keto
Yeah,
Fest.
okay.
Yeah,
I will because I didn't vlog really that much because London was just not what I wanted it to be. It was just
yeah. Plus,
I
you
didn't
felt
like
like
it,
crap.
and I felt like crap. Yeah, so you would have just seen me like looking like angry at the world, being a little salty, and eating crappy food and not feeling crappy and guilty about it. So
I'm gonna pull up
nobody wants to watch that.
some low carb cruise.
Oh, and if you guys are Patreons, make sure, or if you guys are patrons on the Patreon page, make sure that you go to the Facebook page and join the Patreon group. It's a Facebook group just for the Patreon, so we do videos on there. We're going to start because it's new. Once a week, every week, and just take questions and talk about whatever the patrons want to talk about. So if you're a patron, make sure you go join that because you don't, unless you're not on Facebook, and if you're not on Facebook, then you're probably not watching this, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we appreciate our patrons so much. You guys give us so much extra time to do just what we're doing right now, and so we want to give back as much to our patrons as we can.
Yeah,
So,
so if you are a patron, say hi.
Yes.
Say, hey, I'm a patron.
Oh,
down here,
yeah,
so
are there
we
any
can-
patrons
yeah.
watching right now?
I never asked that. I should start asking.
we'll have to start asking. Okay, so the Keto Cruise sails out of Galveston.
I'm so excited.
It's-
Like, you don't even know. Like,
Oh.
I'm more excited about this than I was London because I'm a mermaid and I need some ocean. I need some vitamin C, SEA.
Yep, it's on the Liberty of the Seas.
That's one of the big boats.
Yeah,
The
it's
Royal
a
Caribbean
Royal
big boats,
Caribbean.
yeah.
What did I say the name of it was?
Liberty.
Liberty of the Seas. Yeah, it's a nice boat.
Sails
very
out
nice.
of Galveston. Then
Yeah.
we go to Honduras, Costa Maya, and Cozumel.
Yeah, I can't wait. And then there's lectures all day long if you want to watch a lecture or if you want to meet
Or if
these
you don't
keto
have
people.
to.
or you want to like get hair
You can
tips
just,
from
like,
Neisha.
sit by the pool with me.
Is that what you're
'cause
gonna be
that's probably what I'm gonna be doing. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be parked by the pool. I'll be reading some keto books, and I'm working on keto apps for you guys. I'm doing that. So
Thank you, Lisa.
yay, patron!
Yeah, thank
Somebody
you, Lisa.
asked what's it take to be a patron. You just go to the Patreon page. We'll leave a link in the description, and you can pledge however much you want to. It's there's $1, there's $3, there's $5, just however much, and then you get rewards for whatever level that you pledge. And I think
Hey, Alicia, thank you so much.
$3 is
Yeah.
Patreon.
If you're a $3
You get to
patron,
be in a
then you get
Facebook
access.
group.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Exactly right.
So
Yep.
yeah, y'all guys are so cool.
Exactly.
I'm so excited for that because like you get to get to interact. Well,
Yeah.
we get to interact.
Yeah, absolutely.
me.
I can't wait. It's going to be. Hey, Sue, thank you so much for your support. Excellent. Go to Mr. Sancho's in Cozumel. Oh.
What's her name? Oh, Sue. It's at the top of, if you search Dr. Kim Berry's Patreon group, it should pop up. And I'm pretty sure it's on the actual this Facebook page at the top. It says Dr. Berry's Patreon group, and you just click join, and it'll ask you if you're a patron, and you'll say yes, and that'll let you
and
in.
then we'll let you in. Okay, beautiful. So, is there anything else we need to tell everybody? I've got a few more videos that I'm working on. Let me tell you guys what I'm working on. I'm working on the ketogenic diet with PCOS, right? For all the ladies out there with polycystic ovarian syndrome. I'm working on a video right now about that. I just finished the high blood pressure one. It's live on YouTube right now. You can go watch it when we get done here. I'm gonna talk about ketogenic leadership. How to lead your family.
How not to be a keto hater, keto popo, keto Nazi.
Yeah,
all that
keto bully,
stuff.
because nobody needs that. That doesn't help anybody. I want you to know how to lead your church, how to lead your family, how to lead your neighborhood in the ketogenic way of eating and the lifestyle without being annoying, without being that preaching this, without being pushy. There are ways to do that. I'm going to do a video about that. And then also the other one I'm working on is how to the simple way to start keto. Like if you're brand new to this and you're like, I don't know what the hell to do, I'm going to give you step 1, do this. Step 2, do that. Step 3, and just give you about 7 steps of how to just start keto from the standard American diet, and then in 7 days you'll be eating keto. What do you think about that? That's a good idea? Yeah. Okay, good deal. So we love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Even if you're watching this on the replay, leave a comment down below, and we'll try our best to get back and answer it. And we're going to leave links to everything we talked about in the comments, so you guys can click on that and find out more information if you'd like to.
Yep.
How's that? Are we done?
We need to be. We're going to go eat
Yeah.
with my stepson and his daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
I don't like to call her my daughter-in-law because it's weird.
Yeah.
She's like the same age as me.
Almost. All right, guys, we're done. Neisha's going to hit the finish button, and we'll see you next time.
I'm going to hit it. Right now?
Yeah.
Now.
Hit the button.
Okay.